I gotta try to be calm about this. But there's just so much excitement happening right now. But let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm yours truly, the legend himself, Labzy, aka the best motherfucker you ever met in the history of your life. And I can prove it to you even though I shouldn't. The most loyal, the most honest, and the most respected. And I cannot believe, I need to take off my glasses for a second right now because this is such a big moment right now. And I cannot believe I've made it to 100 guests. And to be very honest, and to be very, very honest with you, I never thought I'd actually get this far. I really didn't. There have been moments in the past where I would go back to the show and then I wasn't getting any guests and then I would give up on it and then, and then vice versa, because this was obviously back in 2018 when I started this, right? And it was something new. This was originally supposed to be a talk show, right? And because if you guys are familiar with the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson that happened like ages ago, right? And the idea came from that. And then when obviously podcasting became bigger and bigger and bigger, that was when I had the idea of creating this show, right? And I'll be very honest, there wasn't really much support at the time. I did not even know anybody that was doing a show. I didn't know anybody that was doing what I was doing. So it was really hard to kind of reach out and say, hey, I'm doing a podcast. I need some advice here, because I did not know anything about what I was doing. And I really believed in it as well. I really believed in the show. So I really wanted to actually pursue this, see how it goes, and I didn't realize how hard it actually is. I didn't realize how, you have to reach out to people. You have to figure out how you're going to do this, how you're going to brainstorm it, how you're going to market it as well, you know what I mean? And then, because obviously back then, it was also a time where I was also working full-time and also with a very stressful job, which really drained my energy, right? So I couldn't, there were moments where I didn't have time for the show because I was just too burnt out, my brain was just frying, really. And so that's why the first 4 years was very, very, very hard, because if you guys know my history, I've needed to be financially stable. I needed to figure out how I needed to get my money up. I needed to basically figure out how I'm going to do this, because I needed to get some money because I was already broke as it was. And then when I finally became financially stable, that's when I slowly started to really network, trying to get guests from overseas, whether it's in Latvia or parts of the US. And it was a very hard process, because obviously I can't be using my phone and working at the same time. Right. So, and then trying to smash it out as much as possible, as well as getting guests as best as I can, and building friendships as well. And also keeping the friendships and relationships as well, which obviously was a hard thing for me. Because obviously, again, I had to figure out what I was doing, and then figuring out the time zones as well with other states in the US. Because that was obviously a challenge too, and what the thing was that I would forget is that I already became global. My first guest doing this independently in 2020 was Marlon Thomas in Minneapolis. He was my very first guest, and he's a graphic designer. He does like all like different types of posters. He would also nowadays he uses AI to kind of change stuff around to make things look cool. And we had a fantastic conversation, and that was the moment where I thought, wow, this was actually fun. Because let's be honest here, the greatest moments in our lives is having a great conversation with someone. And now, because obviously with COVID, we didn't know how long it was going to happen, how long it was going to, how long we're going to be stuck in our homes. We had no clue whatsoever, right? So we didn't know where the hell we were going to go. And then when things started to obviously open up, we're allowed to go outside, I still believed in the show. I still believed in doing it how I'm doing it right now. And I just kept going. I just kept consistent. And I would say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that was when I started really getting involved outside, getting to know people outside. Also, I've shouted out this person before, and I'll do it again. Ash the Realist, who was the one that brought me into the space of, giving me the opportunity to be in a space of other artists, of local artists as well, such as, Legend the Rapper, even, Black Shades and Arrogance as well, meeting those boys, and obviously so on and so forth. And then in 2024, that's when I really started to really build up, and then meeting Simon, aka Donkey Man from Donkey Man Records, and things just started escalating from there, and it was such a blessing. And mind you, I was already 4 years into it. So by the fifth, that was when things started to really go up from there, right? I had returning guests. I had I had really interesting people, that really blew me away. It's been such an amazing journey. And now we've reached 100. Now we've reached 100 guests and 100 episodes. And I can never be more proud of myself. And the things that I've learned is that to never be in my own way. Learn to just trust myself and really not give a shit about other people's progress. And I think that's what us creatives go through when we meet other creators or meet other artists or meet other, podcasters, we'll say as well, right? That we tend to compare our art or our creativity to the other person. And the biggest thing is that we can't do that, because whatever everyone else's progress is their progress. Yes, and I'm going to admit this. There was moments where I was lazy when it comes to the show, not because I didn't believe in it, but because I didn't, I don't know. There were moments where it felt like a chore. I didn't really enjoy it properly. You know what I'm saying? And I had to really just take a step back and really just ask myself, do I really enjoy what I do? And I really enjoy what I do. And really just enjoy the journey, really, and also it's also changed me as a person, especially when it comes to mingling and talking to people and really just, man. And I've even watched myself, and even a few friends have that have watched me from day one, and they've even said to me, Labzy, you've changed so much. You've actually evolved. You've gone so much better. You've even, your questions are better, your approach is better, the intro is better, and so on. I've had a lot of help in the progress of this show, and I can never, ever forget those people, right? And I mean, look, I do want to thank, as much as I can't thank all 100 guests on my show, but you guys know exactly who you are. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for just being with me in this journey, and it does mean a lot. And I'm very, very blessed. Very, very, really, really happy right now. Like, I don't even know. Man, it's yeah, I'm just thankful, and I thank God every single day. You know, I can't do this without my faith in God, as well as using God using me to serve as much as I can to the people, and really just let God just reward, just basically just reward me, really. And yeah, so I'm just very blessed right now. And I do want to bring in my next guest. And this man I look up to as a brother. I was his very, 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 very first guest on his podcast. And such a great conversation. And who better than to help me celebrate 100 guests and 100 show with this man? So, my brother, if you can request, and I'll bring you in, and then we'll definitely begin, because this man, let me tell you something about this man. This man is a truth seeker. He's a true speaker. He is a rapper. He really wants to send his message out into the world and really just spread love, kindness as much as he can. And will do anything. And this is what I also love about this man, is that he, not just one of my biggest supporters, but he's one of those people that will let people know that, hey, this is Labzy. He's got his own podcast, and he's Egyptian as well. You know what I mean? And and knowing that you have these types of people in your life, right, is so important and so incredible that I never really thought, God will present me with this person. So this person, my next guest, has been the greatest gift from God. And I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to bring him in right now. Can look at his music as well. And he also released an album not long ago as well, which I really want everyone to go check out. And it's, yeah. So we're just gonna, so I don't know if, yeah. So yeah, can you join in, brother? I'm gonna see if that will work. Because yeah, I said, who else better than to celebrate with this man? And while I wait for him, while I wait for Instagram to behave itself, because it's not really working right now, that I do want to thank special guests. Obviously want to thank Zeus the Prophet, which is going to be on my show, which is going to be my guest right now, actually. Don't know why it's playing up. But while I wait for him, also I want to give special shout outs to Eleanor. I want to give special shout out to Simon, aka Donkey Man. Special shout out my G's overseas. We're talking PDE, Punch Drunk ENT, Big Creature, Swade the Plug God, Andy Yola, um, Miller from the Bay Area. It's such it's such a it's such a it's such a big thing. It's such a big. These are the people that have also helped me get better every single time. Um, hang on a second. I can obviously edit this during the process as well. You got to try the request button, brother. Maybe come out and then maybe come back in, and then it should let you join in. But yeah, so and it has been a journey, and I'm very very blessed. Yep, there it is. Very very blessed to reach this far. 7 years, but it's still very early. I don't care what anybody says. So, man, and we made it. And I want to thank people, thank everyone that has all the support. I want to thank everyone that has joined me on this journey. And no better man that's going to join me right now, Zeus the Prophet. My G, Habibi, how are you, my friend?
How are you, brother? Good, man. I'm good to see you, man. I was here. I was waiting for you, man. I think it only works on the phone. Actually, I was trying to connect it to my laptop, but that doesn't seem to work. But
Yeah,
I'm
it's
honored.
really weird.
I'm honored to be here, brother.
Man, first of all, Zeus, it is an honor to have you on my show, Habibi. And we've had
Thank you, brother.
conversations. We've had conversations. We've also, talks on the phone, just to check on each other, see how we're doing, But this
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
and as we were saying on the phone, that this is obviously different because I want to share this journey with you because you have played a massive role in this journey of in my progress of my show because I needed someone.
Thanks, bro.
I needed God to send me someone. Well, basically, I needed God to send me you. I'm not gonna lie. I needed God to send me you because you have that amazing spirit. You have amazing you have just an amazing heart, brother. Like I'm not gonna lie, man. Like you're
Thank
very
you,
honest
brother.
with
I
me. I'm very
appreciate
honest with
you.
you, and this is why I wanted to celebrate with you. So first and foremost, how is your mental health, sir?
Well, brother, it's an honor for me to be the 100th guest on your podcast. 100 kids is a fucking milestone, brother. I'm honored to be here. My mental health, my mental health is celestial, brother. I feel on top of the world. I feel unstoppable. I had a
I
bit of
love
a
it.
shake before, so
Yeah, bro, you're looking suave, as Eleanor is saying. Well, you're looking a bit suave there. I love it.
thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I wanted to because this month is my father's month.
Okay.
Um, and for most people who know me and know that my father passed away in '82, and he had a mustache just like this, and pretty much
Hey.
clean shaven. So it's an honor for me to be here to represent him, to represent my bloodline, to represent my legacy. And that's
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you, brother.
Thank you, bro. Habibi, man, I'm appreciating you with all the praise and all the prayers, and I'm also sending prayers to you as well for your father as well. May he rest in paradise.
Thank
Um,
you, brother. God bless you.
and
And
yeah, man. So talk to me about you. Talk to me about your journey in music. Where did it come from? How did music become such a staple in your life?
well, I was born in the war, brother. And
Okay.
I was built for the heat. And we were torn from each other when my father got murdered on the streets of Haramoon. So pretty much I was born in Beirut during the wartime, brother.
Mm.
My music journey started a lot later. Um, so when I was about 12 or 13, when I went back to Lebanon and got introduced to hip hop by my cousin John Allah Yarhamu. So God rest his soul. He came from America and he lived with us, lived with my mom and my two brothers. Um, and yeah, he introduced me to hip hop. So the first track I ever heard was Too Short. You know, I
Okay.
don't know if you know Too Short, but yeah, back
Hell
then.
yes.
And after that, I was addicted. I was hooked, and my journey began then. Now, it was only until later on in life that I started writing poetry, and then I turned that into lyric form, and it worked.
Wow.
And since then, I've been progressing and trying to master my craft over the years, and paying respects to and homage for those who came before us and did what I do before us. And I approach it from that angle, of course. Yeah.
Wow. Incredible. And Too Short as well, man. That's a legend from the Bay Area, man. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
man.
See that's something I didn't even know. So there you go. That's a bit of a because that kind of got me off guard on that one. Do you remember the first Too Short song it was?
I do, but I'm not gonna repeat it on live IG. But it's a bit provocative, bro. You know,
Knowing Too Short. Yeah, of course. It's one of those explicit type hip hop ones, we'll say.
yeah. So I was exposed to that at a young age. all that gangster rap music, all that stuff. But you know, I grew up pretty poor, but I was living that shit all my life. You know, came from
Mm.
nothing, and if anyone's gonna take anything away from this episode tonight, is that I'm here to help. I've always wanted to help, and if I can be of assistance, please let me know. And that's how I've approached everything. And believe
Yeah.
me, brother, it's been nothing but success. You know, obviously a long journey and hard road and hell on earth and all that shit in between.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, the struggle is deep, brother. My
Yeah.
father was pretty much like compared to Tupac's mother. She was a Black Panther revolutionary. Shout outs to the Outlaws. Rest in peace, young noble of the Outlaws. We did a track together. Rest in peace, Fatal, Gaddafi. You know, it was like my brothers. You know,
Yeah.
that's why I got the word immortal here. You know, as
Yes.
in immortal outlaws. This
Okay.
was back in the day. You know, yeah. So my musical journey started way back, but it's been influenced by so many other artists, so many other people, so many other genres.
Yeah.
It's like a mix of everything, and I'm the revelation of it all. You know, I am Zeus. You know,
Yeah.
it's a combination of everything. I first love hip hop. You know, for the breakdancing, for the graph. You know, like the art of graffiti is worldwide, brother. So. You know, B-boy and B-girl, you know, like the proper OG shit, 808. Man, it was a crazy journey for me because I actually, you know, was there firsthand and I seen it for what it is and I helped sort of like pioneer this shit for the last 20 years, you know? And I have been paying my respects, and it's a good treat to actually, you know, say that because there's a lot of beautiful, talented people in Australia and in Melbourne especially
Oh yeah.
that I think is part of the reason why I got into the game as well, to help lift other people up, you know?
Mm. Yeah, no, I love that. And you were talking about obviously you've had influence from different types of genres in the hip hop world as well. Would you say how the different types of influences was kind of like the inspiration on how you became Zeus the Prophet?
Mm, mm. So pretty much hip hop found me, brother, in the chaos. Now, as a
Mm,
kid in Beirut, then Houston, Texas, then Melbourne suburbs, poetry was my only escape. You know, Too Short back in 92, 93. Yes, you know, while I still connected to Lebanon, that raw
mm,
street truth hit different for me, you know. I grew up
mm.
between war zones, project building, and
Yes.
pain that's unimaginable. And that's why I try to inspire people these days because I've lived that shit. I know about it. I came from there.
Yeah.
I've seen that side and it's very ugly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm directing everybody to the beautiful side, the light.
Yeah.
And I do it as a vessel for Christ. So for all those who know me, know I'm very, very spiritual. And yeah, released my EP recently, The Rise of the Prophet EP.
Yes, absolutely. Because I do
Yeah,
want to talk about some of the songs later on, which I do want to do that.
yeah, of
Um,
course.
and so now, because you mentioned so you went from Lebanon to Houston, and then Houston to Melbourne, right?
Right. So yeah, my father passed away in '82. We were in Houston from 83 to '85,
Hmm.
and here in Sydney, and then Melbourne. Been in Melbourne all this time. Grew up here in like the old school ways in the '80s, man. When we still had rotary phones, but I'm from a different cloth, a different generation. All
Oh
those
yeah.
of my era and above remember the shit that I'm talking about. Like you tell kids these days, what's a rotary phone? They don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. You know. I think it's
Yeah.
ancient technology. But yeah, I'm from that era. You know, Christian Lebanese man, um, father of two. Also, I do. Obviously, you inspired me to do the Zeus podcast. You know, you're one of my inspirations, and I want to take my hats off to you, brother. You know, like you're doing a great job, bro. I appreciate
Thank
you.
thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And I do want to ask you because I mean, I think I did ask you this, but I don't really remember if I did ask you. What was it about my show that gave you the motivation to start your own?
There was many things, man. I can't just point out one thing. It was multiple
Mm,
things. The way you spoke to people, the way people responded to you, that trust and respect level that you had your guests on, and they felt, safe in that space, that you created for them. And I wanted to do something similar, and
mm,
obviously it's worked that way, where you provide a safe platform for people to talk about their own journey. But I set up the Zeus podcast to give people their flowers
mm.
so they can smell them while they're still alive, not after we pass away. So
Yeah.
that was important to me going in to the get go. So that's what I wanted to, I just didn't want to like copy anyone's style. I wanted to do my own shit. And I thought to myself, what better way but give people their well deserved respect?
Yeah, and I think that's such an amazing thing because we do need our flowers sometimes. We need to remind people sometimes that they are doing a fantastic job with what they do. Whether it's music or podcasting or, management in music or whatever the case may be,
Right,
right?
right,
Because as much as look, because I'm gonna be real here, as much as we don't need that validation from people, well, sometimes it's nice to hear it. Sometimes it motivates us as well because it's like some people are actually
right.
listening, some people are actually paying attention, and that's a fantastic thing, and sometimes hearing that, it's like, wow, people are actually appreciating what I do and people are actually taking it seriously, and I love that. So that's going to make me even go even harder, and I think what you're doing as well with
Mm,
your podcast as well, with the Zeus podcast, is that you obviously start with a prayer, which is such a fantastic thing, as well
always.
as, and you love to dig deep on how these people are, like, in the progress of their journeys. Like, you want, like, you obviously
Mm,
want to know, like, how do they evolve as a person through that journey, and that's something that's very important because I don't think people think of that. You know what I mean? So you have actually done something that is unique within your show, and which is such a fantastic
thank you,
thing,
brother.
and
Thank you.
that's, yeah, and that's where you have created that niche of yours, which I think is incredible, bro. And again, I appreciate that my show has given you that motivation, that inspiration to do it,
Yeah,
do it in
thanks,
a way
brother.
that's you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it has, man. It's been dope as fuck, man. You've inspired me a little bit to want to like do my own shit. But you know what? You've been doing it for a while now, so my hats off to you. That shit ain't easy. There's
No,
a
it's
lot
not.
to it. Getting into being a podcast host, I've learned a lot so far. I'm only just beginning, but I think we're making waves. We're hitting international waters now, and it's a
Mad.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
As you know, and it's only my 18th episode. My last guest was Simon. Shout outs to Documan
Man.
and Documan Records, and shout outs to Gabs on that
Yep.
token.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a great job over there at Roeville.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and speaking of podcasters as well, I just want to give a quick shout out to Yolani, who's got the Studio Empress set up in Endeavour Hills. So
Beautiful.
all those who want to rent out a space where they can do podcasts, sit down, one on one, or they can record, or there's a lot that's happening there. So just Google the Studio Empress and find out more information. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there, but you're pretty critical to all this too, brother. So I don't want you to stop, brother. I just want you to get better and improve, and then just take off internationally, bro. That's
Oh
what I want for
man,
you.
it's all basically up from there, to be honest with you, and it's
Yeah.
such an amazing journey because I was just giving a few of my American friends a shout out as well, the people that have returned to the show, and
Mm.
it's they have, and they not just wanted to come back, but also, like, knowing that I've got that relationship with them. So if I go to America right now,
Mhm.
I know exactly where I'm going. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, just going there just to see what happens. Like, I'm a man of that wants
Right,
to actually prepare himself and try to make sure that I'm
right.
okay before I go somewhere. You know what I mean?
Of course,
And
you have to plan things out, man. You know, you don't
yeah,
want to just take it do it half-assed. If you're going to go somewhere, you're going to do something, you're going to have to plan for that. You know.
mm, yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I know how deep you think. So yeah, I'm sure you think like 10 steps ahead. You know, what do I
Yeah,
need? What do I have to do? I'm gonna get stuck, stranded, this, that. I know you think, bro. It's all good. Now you're one of the rare ones, bro. You're a good person, brother. You
thank
know.
you, bro. Thank you. And this is where, I want to hats off to you as well, brother, because you play a massive role in the journey as well. Every guest I've had on this show has always been a part of history. It's a
Mm,
part of the Real Talk with Labzy history, right? And
mm.
I will never, ever, ever forget those people, right?
Of
And
course not.
huh?
I did, of course not. They've been part of your
Yeah,
history, part of your legacy, the same as my guests as well. They'll
exactly.
never be forgotten. Every one of my guests have shaped me in a positive way so far since I've started. I've learned a lot, so much from my guests, and I can't thank my guests. And I still call them most days. Like you'd be surprised. Like I'll reach out to them and just say, "Hey, how you doing? Like you're right. How's your, how, like you said, how's your mental health? You
Yeah,
know that's a good thing because I think not enough is said about men's mental health. I mean, mental health in general, but more so men's mental health because I think that hasn't been addressed just yet. Shout outs to Beck from Be Prolific
mm,
from Sydney, and she's doing amazing work in regards to trauma, in regards to somatic counseling, things like this. My hats off to her. She's doing a great thing. There's so many homeboys and homegirls all around Australia doing magnificent things for mental health, and I think that's another crucial thing that we should talk about a bit later too, because
of course.
you know how much that affects everybody, but men, there's a high suicide rate for men too, so it's very important.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely, and this is why also mental health has also been very important to me because I know what that's like. I know what
Mm,
it's like to feel lost sometimes. I know what it's like to look. I know what it's like to feel suicidal because I used to be suicidal and but about when I was in my early 20s, right? Because I didn't know where I was going in my life. My parents were divorcing. I
mm,
wasn't studying. I wasn't working full
right,
time, and so on,
right.
right? And it was too much, and I felt like I was a burden in this world, right?
Mm,
But this is where I had to have that relationship with God. I had to have that relationship with God in order to,
right,
to really start the journey properly. I was
right,
scared.
right.
I didn't understand it, but then I had to learn to trust God. I had to learn to really just, basically, Jesus take the wheel, and I'm just a passenger. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's it. Once you surrender your heart and soul to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, there you become unstoppable, brother.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, man. There was been, and I've probably never said this to many people, but you know, but back when I was a bit younger, I was suicidal myself. You know, growing up in a household with like beautiful people, but just the wrong timeline, pretty much. I was born premature, so my mother had a miscarriage before me, so I'm not really meant to be here, and this is why I think I can really make good change. But mental health is so important. There's been many times that I thought I was lost and I was unheard, unseen, and it was just chaotic and crazy everywhere you look.
yeah,
And there were times when I thought about it, but that was it. It was just a thought,
yeah,
And I never went and done anything. And
yeah,
for those who actually do, and it's not something that you can't come back from, you
yeah,
know. Self harming is one thing, but actually doing it is a whole other thing. And once you leave this earth, you never come back. So I was
yeah,
like, no, I was meant for something greater, not
yeah,
meant for another purpose,
mm, yeah,
something greater than myself. And I feel as though I'm lucky I stayed to see the beautiful progress because then you know how lucky I am. I have two beautiful children, Kitana and Brandon. My heart and my soul, you know, so what I live for,
yeah,
it's what keeps me
absolutely.
happy, and
Yeah,
and therefore keeps me going. It keeps me proud enough to say, "Oh fuck it, I got to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't really care." You know what I mean? I got to do this shit. I got to soldier on. Someone's got to be the strong one.
mhm,
Someone's got to make that impact on the world because My father didn't die for nothing. And as God is my witness, I am here, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. And then even to this day, like I do think every single day, if I committed suicide that day, because I was actually going to do it, I was actually this close, right? And I would always think to myself, if I did it that day, I never would have thought what my purpose was. I never would have thought how far I would have gone. I never would have been, wanting to talk to my favorite artist that I get to have on my show, which was a part of the history. I
That's
never,
right.
you know what I mean? Like I think about that all the time, and that's what motivates me to go even harder. Because now it's like, no, I do have a purpose. I do have a reason why I'm here. I do have that fire in my eyes, right? All I needed was just I needed the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in order to
It is
spark it.
pockets, exactly.
Right? So that's why, and that's why, like, this is why this is such a great conversation between you and I, especially in the
Mm.
on 100, because you understand, because I mean, look, I will never understand what you've gone through in your life. I'm gonna say that right now. I will never, ever, ever understand. I can only imagine. I can only imagine, unfortunately, right? But knowing that you and I had the courage to just keep pushing forward, being in the space of our Lord and Savior, to push us to where we are now, and then now look at us. We are successful people, not by definition of the world. Don't worry about the world, but
I'm not worried about the world, brother. I'm just worried about you staying humble, brother.
of course.
No matter how successful you are, for those who are watching,
Mm,
don't stay humble. All that shit doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? You don't take nothing with you when you leave this earth, brother. Believe me. You take no money, no cars, no houses, no wealth, nothing. You only take what's in here, and that's what's going to be remembered about you. You know, whether you made an impact on this world, that's how you're going to be remembered.
mm,
Is whether it's how you made a person feel when they were around you. That's it. You know, and if you define success, I define success by a few things. That's one. Number two is I have a family that loves me. I got two beautiful children, roof over my head, food in the fridge, bills are being paid, and I'm working towards something greater. That's success to me.
that's it. That's it. That's success as well. You know what I mean? You're doing the best you can at what you do. You're obviously looking after your family. That's a
That's
successful
right.
person in my eyes as well. You know what I mean?
Amen.
So
Amen to that.
yeah,
For those of us who are on the grind, I got a few homeboys, homegirls who wake up 4 o'clock in the morning every day. I got some people that give me a call in the morning. Hey Zeus, what's happening? How you feeling?
yeah,
Like how's your mental health and all that shit. Because they know, like we've talked about this so many times.
mm,
It's so important for us to check on each other. Just
absolutely.
check up. For those you think are your strongest people in your crew, check up on them. You know,
Please.
those are the people who do the hardest,
Mm,
who carry the most weight,
yeah.
are the strongest. Because I know I'm that person as well. I've always been the strongest person, but sometimes I go through some shit too, brother. That I need to reach out to a brother or to a sister. Shout out to Eleanor Di Fiore, who's been
Yeah.
instrumental in helping
Phenomenal.
me with not only not only with PR, branding, marketing, but I consider her family.
Mm,
Because she reaches out on a very human level, and that's rare in the business world.
mm,
We don't see it as business. We see it as building. You want to lift others up, like I said at the start. So believe me, check on your closest. They're gonna need your phone call anytime soon. Because
yeah.
right before this episode, we spoke, brother. Let them know. We had a
Yeah.
nice conversation, brother. So it's
Yeah.
always important to pick up on those. And I told you, like, it should be fine, man. Everything's
Mm.
gonna be fine. But the 100th episode, that's fucking amazing, brother. You deserve a round of applause for that. And you know what? I can tell how happy you are at the start too. That was dope ass, brother.
I mean, it's not just the happiness, it's also the weight off my shoulder as well, because I know that I'm progressing. Maybe just not like everyone else, but I don't really care. I care about this. I'm doing it at my own pace. I'm doing it the way how I like it. And yes, I'm working on other stuff. Again, I've got a JB Hi-Fi bag full of cameras as well as SD cards, and I've got another bag of cables and everything like that, soundboard, everything ready to go. I just gotta once I move out and then I have my own space, I'll create it all for myself, and that's the
Yeah,
next step now.
absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I just want to give a quick shout out to our peoples who have joined us so far. Jamie in the house. What up, brother? What up?
Yes. You got Jamie, you
Alana in
got
the
my
house.
man
Thank you.
Simon.
Thank you.
Also, man. So, and that's what I'm saying. These are the people that are, even the people that are watching right now, have been such a huge impact on my life as well as the progress of the show.
Mike and board. Yeah.
As well, yeah. So, it's so great. But I wanted to ask you another question, Zeus the Prophet. Talk to me about your first song, and do you remember your first song?
Yeah, I do, brother. It was called $100 million.
Okay, what was that
$100
about?
million. $100 million for the people. That was
Yeah,
the essence and the core of why I designed that track.
yeah,
100 million, $100 million for the people as I rise to the top of the world. When my father got murdered, like it was based upon my life and my struggle and how to get people out of that struggle. And
yeah,
that's what I want people to take from this today. It's like if they can learn a lesson about what I went through and help them in some way, beautiful. Amen. God bless you for that. That's good. But
yeah,
$100 million,
yeah,
I was like, how am I going to help the people? And what I think $100 million for the people would be good, for a start.
yeah. Well, how old
You
were you
know,
when you did that song?
I was about, I was in my, early 20s, about 24 maybe. Mm,
Okay,
quite a,
okay,
quite a while ago, you know. Mm,
okay. No, I love that. And okay, and then when you made that song, did that kind of motivate you to do the next one and the next one and the next one? Was that kind of how that went?
absolutely. Let's set it off, man. And it's like, I always say it shows, and those who know me know I'm at every show. I always say, set it off, brother, set it off. And I
Yeah,
get the crowd going, and they know me as the hype man guy because that's what set it off for me. It was like that boom, that big bang. Something came from nothing. You know what I mean? And that was it for me. I was hooked. I was addicted to making music, helping people. I was getting good feedback. Like at the start, I didn't know much, but then after a while, you start to like be around people. They start teaching you things. Shout out to one of my mentors, Alf Transporter. Just got out of hospital recently. I hope you're doing
nice.
well, brother. Alf Transporter. My hat goes off to you, Morganics. Shout out to Morganics as well, man. They were some of the pioneers of hip hop in Australia. So yeah, it sparked a beautiful thing in me. Like while I'm talking to you now, I'm getting ideas and shit, man. So, it's like Tupac said. I won't change the world, but I guarantee I will spark the brain that does change the world.
Yeah,
And then I come after that. So I was like, fucking beautiful. I'm here.
wow.
Let's
And
do it. Let's make
you,
change, and that reflects a lot in my music because it's Christian based activism, conscious hip hop, and relieves the tension in hip hop because it was all gangster rap shit for the last 30 years. Yeah.
mm,
I want to do something a little bit different. So I've come from that street mentality. So at the start, you can hear the evolution of my music. It started
mm,
off like, like that, but it evolved. As I evolved, as I matured spiritually,
yeah,
and now my latest track, Unity. Shout outs
yes,
to the big homie Deno G, who engineered the track,
yeah,
did a phenomenal job, provided that international level sound that I was looking for in regards to fine tuning and tweaking and making it for what it is and guiding me and helping me. I consider him an older brother as well. We
yeah,
have NJE from Sydney. Shout out to the brother NJE,
absolutely.
who's another one of those great brothers who loves being a good father. Shout out to Mez from Queensland.
Yeah,
She was phenomenal on the track. And last but not least, we got Zarina and Yolani, who
Yes.
did the harmonies, and they were fucking phenomenal. I'm gonna
Yeah.
release the track on the 4th of July.
Hell yeah.
All right, so to mark Independence Day in the States, got a lot of homeboys, homegirls in the States, got a lot of family members, but I definitely wanted to give them a shout out. And this track's called Unity. It's one about, like relieving the tension in the hip hop scene with that, with my approach, with my specific approach.
Mm.
It doesn't have to be the hardcore gangster rap. It's about fatherhood. Dude, for me, it's about, every verse is something I'd be proud of for my kids to hear. Is what I'm trying to say. So
I love that. No, I love it. And then, yeah, shout out to Serena and Yolani as well. I'll be having Yolani on my show next week, I think it is. Yeah, so she'll be on the show as well. I think that's going to be a great conversation as well because I've seen what she does, and do a lot of like motivational stuff as well, and really wants to help a lot of people as well. So I reckon that's going to be a great
yeah,
conversation.
she's like I said early on, man. She's super dope.
Mm,
Like she's one of those light workers that goes out of her way to help others too. Like I mentioned about the Studio Empress.
yes.
That's her thing, and she's making waves in her community, in our community, and I'm so
Yeah.
proud of her for that too. And I'm proud of all my people. But that's why I created the Prophet Circle. For those who don't know, check out the Prophet Circle. Send me a DM or some. Let me know how you feeling about shit, and together we ride. And it's just how simple it is. Together we ride.
Yeah, and that's also what I love about what you're doing as well is that trying to create unity with other people, try to create more kindness, more of a safe space, more to let people
What
speak,
we
and
need, brother. We
also
don't need no more bullshit, right? We don't need no more bullshit. There's too much shit happening in the world
fight.
right now. We're at the verge of World War III, brother.
Mm.
The whole world's gonna fucking implode on itself, and we're worried about me, 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 me. No, go reach out to another brother, another sister, lift them up. That's what we're gonna be remembered by. We're not gonna be remembered on none of this other shit, man.
Yeah,
Apart from our music and who we are as people, how we make people feel. As Eleanor pointed out before in the comments, 100%. Yeah,
yeah,
shout out to Donkey Man. I think he's in the comments as well. That's a beautiful thing.
yeah,
That's
man.
Eleanor. She gave me a shout out. Beautiful. Would be
Yeah, we've
beautiful.
done a lot of beautiful us
All of
together,
us together, music and spirituality, all merge. That's what I'm talking about, my brother. That's what I'm talking about. We can make that spark and make it happen and collaborate and unite and build something strong.
Mm,
We unstoppable. We untouchable after that, brother. Don't you know? Like none of us are gonna live forever, brother. I'll tell you straight, man. But
mm.
what we build here, what we build together, is what's gonna last forever. And people are gonna pick this shit up 1,000 years from now. They're gonna say, "Fuck, there was a guy named Labzy. There was a guy named Zeus. What the fuck? I can't even believe it."
Yeah,
Yeah. That's how it
yeah,
is, brother. They make an impact for life, forever. Not just like I'm here for a season and I'm gone. Man, I've been through hell and back multiple times, man. So we're making massive impacts and real impacts that, help people
yeah.
so much. I've had, you know, during the course of my career as well, I've had people reach out to me from overseas and whatnot. Even recently with the release of my track Free Palestine last year.
Yes, which is one of your biggest ones, which is one of your biggest records as well.
In the name of
And
Jesus Christ, I am a vessel.
yeah, absolutely, man. It's such a great song as well. And I've even watched you live as well perform that song, and that's and how you
Thank
really
you.
like get with the crowd, and also to get people to really just join you with the energy and the vibe. As soon as you start playing the song for Palestine, you know what I mean? Like it's such a powerful thing. You know what I
From the
mean?
river to the sea, this was meant to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, but it's not. My heart breaks when I see them little kids getting shot up on the block for throwing rocks. Say that's what it's all about. It's about humanity, about battling oppression. It's
Mm.
about helping people understand that there's an actual fucking genocide going on right now, and that's bullshit. Because you don't kill men, and women, and children who are civilians. There's rules to war. They've broken international law. They've broken the Geneva Convention, and all that shit's out the window. Nah. Now they're going into South Lebanon. You look on Google Maps. South Lebanon's wiped off the Google Maps, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're trying to erase thousands of years of people's livelihoods and memories and legacies. And no, I don't agree to none of that shit. I do not consent. Same as the digital ID, I do not consent. And I'm
Mm.
straight up about that. You
Yeah.
know, us as human beings, we have a sovereign right to protect our homes, our land, our minds, our bodies. You know, there's fucking water, there's poison in the water. And
Yeah.
they admitted it on live TV. So what are we talking about here? You know, like this is bigger than me. This is legacy shit. Legacy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. And there's also they've poisoned all our food. They've poisoned all our food and everything. It's like we hesitate if we should eat this food or not. Even if they've poisoned our apples, they've poisoned
Right.
our fruits. You know what I mean? Like I went to, because as you know, I went to Egypt for the October that just passed, right? And
Yeah,
mind
yeah, I know.
you, they have a higher population than we do, but yet their food is so fresh. The eggs are yellow, and the meat is just, it tastes like meat. The lettuce tastes like lettuce. There's actually flavor in tomatoes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Right.
thinking to
It's
myself, like, what the
flavor.
hell is happening?
There's a difference between, like, for instance, somewhere like Italy, right? They grow
Mm.
all their fresh fruits and vegetables on in their villages, right? Once you take that away from them, it's like Lebanon. Once you take that away from them, you know, you're taking away their livelihood. You're not just taking away; you're taking their soul away. You know, and this is it's a fight for humanity. It's a fight for the whole world, actually, man. You know,
Mm.
because it's happening all over the world. And the
Yeah,
best thing to do about that is awareness.
absolutely.
First step. The first step is awareness. Be aware of it. What's happening? You know,
Mm.
learn from others. Talk to your elders.
Yeah. Absolutely, I definitely agree with that. And also just talk to everyone that's suffering as well. Just check them on, just as you said, like you got to check on them, see how you're doing, like how you're holding up.
Right,
I just want
right,
to let you know that you're not alone. Like, I mean, look, if there's
right.
anything I can
Exactly.
do to help, you know what I mean. Obviously,
Mm.
we can't, we can't become the Avengers and go to Lebanon and stop it. Obviously, we can't do that, but
Nah, brother, no. Make no mistake, brother. You got to be careful when you're live too, bro. We don't condone violence.
of course,
That solution is never violence is never a solution. It's something I teach my kids too. You
yes,
never approach it like that. It's always step one is awareness. Step two is preparation. Once you have the knowledge, what do you do with that knowledge? That's the next step. And you know, if you want the next step, just reach out to Uncle Zeus.
yeah.
I'll let you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
of
man.
course. We all got to come together and make a stand. Like people, no one's got time for a revolution, brother. People got to go to work tomorrow and shit, bro. People got mortgages, kids, bills, car payments. Man, there's a tax on death even these days.
Yeah.
You understand,
It's
bro? So no matter how you look at it, we're always going to be taxed about something, about more and more these days. That's why I think it's important for us to be aware of it and come together collectively. There has to be a collective consciousness for the real awakening to happen.
absolutely.
Everybody, not just me, you, all the light workers got to come together and stand for the right, stand on the right side of history.
Exactly. Yeah. And also be a better example on there are good people in the world as well. And
Right.
that's also another key too. Right? Be there
Yeah.
for the people. Try to help as best as we can. Serve the people. God wanted us to
Mm.
serve others. You know what I mean? That's also another thing.
Absolutely, 100%, man. And it's not that. Well, I don't want people to get it twisted and shit. Like I'm not the fucking savior of the world. I never will be. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday. But what I do know is that with the track Free Palestine, I've attended protests. I've been on the front lines of this shit. But I do want to know, and this is very important, that not all Jewish people are bad.
Yep.
The whole world thinks that shit, and there's a lot of good Jewish, honest, decent people just raising their families, trying to get to work, make a living, pay their tax, whatever. They're just on the same boat. All right,
They're
so I
just
don't
like
want
you
no
and
one to
me.
get twisted. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no difference. I even met a couple of like beautiful Jewish people at the rallies a couple of times. I said, "Brother, what are you doing here? You know, that's dope." Like, no, we don't agree with what our murderous government's doing.
Yeah.
So there's look, that's the truth, brother. You know, people will stand with good people, no matter what race, religion, color, creed that they are. You know,
Mm.
if you're human, I'm on your side, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
If you're
Exactly.
facing oppression, let me know. I'll offer some support your way for sure, man. If I can, you know, and there's been a lot of people that thinking that you have to support financially. No, don't get it twisted. Support comes in many ways and forms. You can support with aid, shelter, through music. You can. So I do it through music and help people gain that awareness.
Mm.
You know, and that's doing my part too. But not only that, like I'm actually on the front lines too, brother.
Yeah.
So I've had people as recently as a couple of months ago reach out to me, you know, saying if they can please support my non-for-profit organization. Check it out. We're helping people on the ground who have been affected. I'm like, boom, I'll check it out. Then we can make a calculated decision after that. I checked it out. It's all good. It's all on the up and up. And I'm supporting, and I'm proud to have it on my Zeus the Prophet IG page. I support the peace project, you know, and Caritas in Lebanon.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about giving back too. Like you can give back your time, donating your time, going out to a charity, you know, like and donating your time, helping people at kitchen places, you know, where they give out food to the homeless people. You
Mm.
know, they can do so many things for the world that. But sitting around and doing nothing and complaining and then getting on the internet and saying, oh, this is icky, this is icky, yucky and shit.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Let the real motherfuckers, you know, help the world because we are. And you
Yeah.
know what? It's those lazy people that really piss me off sometimes too because we're only on this earth once. I was talking to um, a friend of mine recently, as recent as yesterday, and we're talking about like, you know, you have one set of fingerprints that's
Yeah.
uniquely yours. There's
Yeah.
no two of you. You're one of one, brother. So
Yeah.
once we leave the earth, we're leaving the earth to the next generation. And what are we teaching them? That we sat around and where were you when all this shit went down? I just sat around, I did nothing, and I
Mm.
commented and I showed. Nah, we were out there on the front lines. We've made dramatic change. You know,
Yeah.
like one of the boycotts. You know, like cost McDonald's $2 billion, man. That affected them in their pockets, man. We did real change.
Yeah.
You
Of
know.
course. Yeah.
And that's what it is. We do in a non-violent ways. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how you were talking about the fingerprint because that's also the physical evidence that to know how unique you really are because this your fingerprint belongs to you and you alone, right? And and going back to what you were saying before, like there are so many ways that you can support someone. You can talk to each other. Music is obviously one as well. You've mentioned before,
Mm.
and not just and also sympathizing with others and showing empathy, and also to the Jewish community as well that just want nothing to do with the trouble. They just want to live their own lives. I know people like
Exactly,
that.
man.
I
Exactly.
know people like that. And then
Exactly. And they're
and
just
then
human too. You gotta know the difference between being Jewish and being a Zionist. That's just a simple fact. You wanna know the truth? That's it right there. Yeah, I'm a
yeah,
truth teller, brother. I don't talk
of
shit. I don't
course.
have time for that shit. I'm not that young anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't have time for to bullshit people. That's what it is. There's a big difference between being Jewish and being a Zionist. Okay?
Mm.
There's nothing absolutely wrong with beautiful, hardworking Jewish people, but there's the massive, massive fuck up when it
Massive
comes to
difference.
genocide.
Yeah.
No one will agree to that. No
Yeah.
one will. Anyone with any heart, any soul in them. It hurts my soul just thinking about that shit, bro. You know, like we've been watching a live genocide for on 4K for the last 2 years, and everyone's quiet as a fucking mouse. You know, but there are
Mm.
some of us that do speak up,
Yeah.
and these are the people that are making the impact, and that's why I'm so proud to be in part of this collective because Yeah, this is life changing shit, brother. It's gonna last forever.
Yeah, man. And then because I wanted to add as well, like there are the especially when it comes to like to the Jewish people as well. As when I was saying before that they just want to live their lives and they don't want to do anything, like they don't want to get involved with the trouble. The problem with the media does is that when you they're saying that Israel is doing this, Israel is doing that, Jewish people are doing
Right.
that. It has manipulated people's minds to believe that, oh, when as soon as when someone says, oh, they're Jewish or whatever, that's when their minds start to trigger because it makes them think of what the
Yeah, it's the
media
same
has
old
told them.
shit, man. It's the same old shit they've been doing for centuries. Divide and conquer, man. Anyone
Yeah.
with half a brain knows that it's a divide and conquer tactic, and it's
Mm.
bullshit. It doesn't work anymore. Like someone asked me, "What are you allergic to?" I'm allergic to bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. We are the biggest allergic to bullshit. And I do sympathize with the Jewish people that just want to live their lives normally and they just
Now,
want to raise their
yes,
families and do the right thing. You know what I
yes.
mean? I sympathize with them, man, because they're the ones that are getting hated
Having
on as
said
well.
that, yeah, it's not about just them too, but I want to sympathize for those who have fallen. I want to
Yeah, of
take a
course.
moment of
Yes.
silence for all those people who have been killed, who have been affected by this terrible genocide and occupation of Palestine, and Lebanon as well. So I
Yeah.
want to give a shout out to all my Lebanese homeboys and homegirls and all my family back in Lebanon. I'm on the phone every day, brother. Last
Yeah.
time I was on the phone, and there's a missile that came through, and the phone got connected, and my heart stopped for a second. I want to give a shout out to the real people helping on the ground in Lebanon, in Palestine as well. Those
Mm.
who have lost their lives unnecessarily.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
rest in peace,
Yeah, man.
Henry Jab. You know, 60-year-old
And
girl that was gunned down with her family, on the phone to the ambulance while she was trying to seek assistance. This goes way deeper than that.
yeah.
But I want to I want to have a moment of silence for them, brother, if we will.
Of course. Of course we can, man.
Having said that, there's always
Yeah.
hope, and that's
Of
why we
course.
exist.
Yeah.
That's why we exist. And I'll say a third time, that's why we exist, brother. And it's podcasts like yours that are helping people to grow, to learn, um, and to thrive
Yeah.
in this community, because there's not many platforms that provide um or there's not many avenues where they provide a platform for other artists to speak about their art, speak about their craft, and
Mm.
you're one of the ones who do that and have been doing that for a while now. So
Yeah. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
that's how you can help, bro. That's how you help it. If you ever in doubt, brother, remember what you do.
Yeah. No, absolutely, man.
Remember who you
Absolutely.
are.
Yeah, man. And yeah. And I've now I do want to do something fun, right? I want
Let's
to do
do it.
something fun. Okay. Now I've taken a page out of Snoop Dogg's book when he did GGN, right? And he would ask these questions. So I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you. You ready, Zeus the Prophet? All right.
I was born ready, brother. Let's hit it. Let's do
All
it.
right. What's the first thought when you wake up in the morning? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you think of?
Well, I can't really tell you publicly, bro. No, I, I, I think I'm my kids, bro.
Okay. Nah, I love that. I love that. Black or white?
Can I, can I have a shotty? Like, can I drink now? Because I love them both.
All right, we can say both. All right, we'll go both. All right. If you were stuck on an island and you could only
Yeah.
listen to three albums, what would they be?
Oh, that's a good one. Now we're going back to the old school. Through
Whatever
throughout
you
the
want. Whatever you
No,
want.
that three. It'll have to be at least five albums. But I'll be going with "All Eyes on Me" by Tupac.
Of course.
Double CD.
Hmm.
I'll be going with God of the Serengeti by Vinny Paz.
Okay.
And wow, man, I'm thinking of so many people. I don't want to leave anybody. I just three, man. You're killing me here, bro.
This is
And I would
fun.
probably, yeah, true that, man. So I would probably go with, does it have to be just hip hop or any genre?
Doesn't really matter what genre, whether it's hip hop, country, jazz, whatever.
Yeah, and I'm picking 12 Inches of Snow by Snow.
I love that. I love that. My name is Zeus the Prophet, and I'm a blank.
Father, husband, podcast host, professional hip hop artist, activist, game changer.
I love that. I love that. Now, no, I think okay. That's the bit of the game there. Did you like that one?
I love that one, bro. Yeah, I was loving the suggestion.
um, because I do want to talk about the EP that you released recently.
Yes, yes.
Now, hang on, wait, where is it? Hang on, what did I do? I did something wrong. No. Oh, here we go.
Mhm.
So you've also got the International Way. You've got the Fear of the Unknown. You've got Silver Tongue as well. Talk to me about. Actually, no. Talk to me about the Art of War. This is with
Well,
Shorty
yeah.
Mike and Bear
Shorty Mike and
Flame.
Bear
So,
Flame, man. That was a dope track, man. I really enjoyed recording that. I really enjoyed making the music video
mm,
with the brothers. Rest in peace, Big Joe, Joseph David, like a big brother to me. I've had him on a few of my music videos, including Ancient Rhymes as well. We shot that on location at the 480 Flats where I grew up on Lygon Street in Carlton
oh wow,
back in the 80s. Back in the 80s, yeah. So we shot that there, and it was such a beautiful process to make that music video, especially with the scenes and the creation of the collaboration in the hip hop process was totally unique to me on that track.
mm,
Um, yeah, it wasn't just about music; it was a bridge to legacy. I think artists who understand truth music, not just clout. You
mm,
know, and that track was a defining moment in street hip hop.
mm,
So that came through with precision, and yeah, the hip hop heads gave me a big nod for that, because I definitely I shot that. We shot in a few locations actually. One was the 480 Flats. I insisted that we shoot at the Elvis Memorial in Carlton
yeah.
Cemetery, to
Oh
pay
wow,
respects. Not many people noticed that, but yeah, it was the actual Elvis memorial thing that they had there for him, and we had so much fun that day. Like I remember God rest his soul, Big Joe. We
yeah.
went and had lunch that day, and no shit, we all sat down in this restaurant. I remember, like he just said, "Hello, Habub, hello." I was like, "Brother, give me a hug." He came through with flying colors as he always does. Oh man, shout outs to Isaac as well, like a brother to me, like a big brother. But Bear Flame and man, this track, Shorty Mike killed it, man. Like he came out as an unstoppable force. And this was
Mm,
at the peak of when like there was some underground shit happening. So it was a very volatile time
yeah,
for me and the crew. But you know how we are, man. Like it's not about strength of numbers. It's about like strength of heart to us. So,
yeah,
I don't need no ghetto pass to go anywhere, brother. I just go, man. That's just me. Because I've earned my stripes over the years. So, but that collaboration right there was a monumental one, and I'm very proud of that.
yeah. I love that, man. That's so good. Talk to me about the song "Remember Me," because I feel like that's something
Yeah,
something talking about like you wanted to like remember you with all the stuff that the wisdom that you leave behind. Like the day that you leave this earth, you wanna leave a legacy
right.
behind. Is that something involving that?
Not just yeah. That's one part of it too. I've wrote it in many parts. So I have to think about this for a while because this is part of my legacy. So the way I designed the track. It was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. It all came together beautifully. So I designed it for a couple of reasons. One, if you repeat it word for word verbatim, not
Mm-hmm.
only does it apply to every man, woman, and child on this earth, but it also unlocks the power of I am. Now, you know that back in the 1600s, they used to chop people's
Yeah.
for saying
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
word
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am,
Capitate them.
followed by
Yeah.
anything else that's positive, like I am great, I am humble, I am noble, whatever it is. Anything with the word I am followed by something positive,
Mm-hmm.
it resonates with the vibrational frequency of the universe, and that's how manifestation happens. And I designed the track Remember Me as a dedication for my kids, Kitana and Brandon, the loves of my life,
Mm-hmm.
but also for every other man, woman, and child too. So um, it's something for them to remember me by, something
Mm-hmm.
for them to look up to me for, and if they ever need guidance, they can just go to that and get some words of wisdom. Like, I want to be remembered forever as someone great, and I want to be remembered forever as someone smart enough to lead us out of the gates of hell. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to be that person I am. I want to be, I am, brother, that person. You know, and I want my kids to shape their own destinies, but at least have a good, like, platform, you know, at least a good road that I've paved for them to walk nicely on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want them to go through the same shit I went through,
Yeah.
you know, living through bombs and war zones and street shootouts and all that type of shit, man, you know? And the real motherfuckers around the world listening to this can relate to it, but I want them to look to a good future, to have a good future and not worry about this stuff where it's all gangster stuff and violence. I want to build a better future for them. In order
Yeah.
to do
Of
that,
course.
I had to leave all that shit behind and carve my own lane in the game. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No, I love that, man. And then and you know what, Zeus, you've already done that. You've already done that,
You, my
bro.
brother. Thank you, man. You're the best, bro. Well, what happened to those fun questions, bro? Tea or coffee, bro? Yeah,
um,
bro.
Man, because I was saying you've already done that, brother. You've already now stopped the generational curse. You know what I mean? You've done that because now that you've put them in a safe space, bring them to a country that's more safer, as well
Mm,
as you get to let them enjoy their lives. You know what I mean? Knowing
yeah,
that nothing is going to bad happen outside. Obviously, the bad stuff is inevitable, but I'm saying in comparison to how you grew up.
no, absolutely. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So no, you've done a fantastic job, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Um,
I appreciate you.
yeah, because I'm still not trusting Instagram right now because generally they said it's only going to be an hour. But um, was there something else I wanted to ask? Because
Yeah,
I'm now
so in regards to remember me, it's about,
yes.
fatherhood is the call for me, you know.
Mm,
Remember me, my letter in bars, pretty much. Legacy over clout, brother. I
yeah.
wanted my kids to see daddy using hip hop as a tool for healing, not
Mm,
just chasing fame and shit, you know. I wanted them to really, like, it keeps me grounded, brother. That's what it does. It keeps me grounded when I write stuff like that,
mm,
dedicated to a greater cause. You know, every verse be something that I'm proud of for them to hear. Family first, then music becomes like a testimony that they can inherit.
yeah.
You know,
Of course. No, I love that, man. And I'll always want you to always be proud of yourself with the progress that you've done, as well as how you raise your family, how you
thank you,
how you
brother.
raise your family,
I
man, how
appreciate
you're
that.
doing your music, man. Like I never ever want you to overthink anything because this is your purpose. This is what you were supposed to do, right? And
Meant to that.
this was a mission from God, man. You know what I mean? So whatever vision that you have between you and God, just keep chasing that, man.
Absolutely, brother. Look, I won't stop, man. You know, like, it's been like that for the last 46 years, brother. It hasn't stopped, man.
Yeah.
I can remember, like, every day of my life has been filled with helping somebody else succeed and helping somebody else grow, and it's a beautiful feeling, you know. What I mentioned to your audience at the start too, it's the best
Hmm.
feeling in the world is going out there and working and helping the community, and
Yeah.
that's what it's all about, really. It's about helping the community, about
Yeah.
helping you become the better version of you, and that only happens when you break free of the old version of you. Says, "Nah, fuck that. I'm too good to help." This, and that. Get out there. Go put an apron on. Go work in the kitchens. You
Yeah.
know, I was teaching Sudanese kids maths, English, science for 6 months at the Flemington
Wow.
Flat. Not because anybody asked me to do it, brother, and I didn't tell nobody. Not many people know this shit because I don't want the clout. I don't want none of that shit. I
Yeah.
actually did it to actually help, man. Do you know the smiles on their faces? And I had a good system set up where I'd give them chocolate if they did their homework properly. I'd give them some chocolate incentives as well.
Mm.
If you do a page of your homework,
Mm.
you get a chocolate. You know, and you'd be surprised they all wanted to learn that system. You
Yeah.
know,
You
and
want
their
to reward them
mothers
for
came
their
up to
hard
me.
work.
Yeah, the mothers came up to me, and brother, believe me, the smiles on their faces, they thanked me. Couldn't
Mm.
speak much English, you know, but they thanked me, and their smile said it all, and that was enough for me. I didn't even want them to thank me, but their smile said it all, you know.
Yeah, of course. And you do the best you can as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
always also be proud of yourself that you're doing the best you can in order to serve, because that's exactly what God told us to do as well.
Amen, brother. Amen.
All right. Um, I think I've got everything covered, because I do want to bring you back in the next in another episode as well later on, but I want to have it with the setup and everything like that. So that's what
Yeah,
I
of
want
course,
later on.
brother. Of course.
Is there any
You let
questions
me
you want to
know.
ask me at all?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you what have you learned during your podcast journey as well in regards to accelerating the process of helping others.
when I What I've learned is that everyone has a story. Everyone
Mm,
is wanting to be noticed, wanting to be seen, and wanting their stories to be heard. And how I've done it is give them platform to actually give them that moment where the stage is theirs and they can speak however they want to speak. They're free
mm,
to do whatever it is and whatever they want to speak on, and they are really just. I've noticed that the people that I've also interviewed as well is that they are very, very passionate about what they do, right? Whatever it is that,
right.
and then especially when it comes to their growth as well,
Mm,
whether they've survived through drugs or alcohol or whatever it is, they've come out on the other side and they're not afraid to
right.
speak on it as well, because we don't know who someone else is suffering, and they need to hear that story in order to inspire them to do better for themselves and also for the people around them as well, because no matter what we do affects others around us too, especially the people that we love. So that's why I've learned in this progress that there's people need to be heard. People's story need to be heard, and as well as they need to be understood, right? As well as they just need to be they just want to be seen, they want to be noticed, you know? And I've learned in this journey of doing that, it was such an amazing journey. And yeah, so I think he cut off, but we'll try to bring him back. I don't know what's happened, but yeah. So just to answer, I'm going to answer Zeus's question. So that's basically what I've learned in the journey of my show, especially in the 100 years. So 100 years, 100 episodes of this show as well, and I am forever grateful for every single guest that has been on the show. Especially, I also want to shout out to Big Creature as well as Andy Yola, because they weren't really much on, being on camera, but then, me knowing me, I know how to make them feel comfortable. I know how to make them feel safe. That's when they were able to show their face, and it was a great interview ever since. So I want to give them a special shout out as well. And I don't know what happened to Zeus, but what we'll do, I'll I want to try see if I can get him back. Again I can obviously edit this as well. What's happening here? Um, one second, guys. Sorry about this. Again, I can just edit out all this stuff anyway. So knowing the Instagram being weird. Because again, this is why I don't trust Instagram right now. Because I feel like I don't want it to cut out, and then when he comes back, and then something cuts out, and then it happens. But I do want to, because I do want to give him the final flowers before he goes. But yeah, um, but anyway, I also want to shout out to the people that are joining in right now, Jamie and also Neek. Hope you're doing very well, and hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's happening here. I have a feeling his battery died. There's a part of me that believes that his battery died. But yeah, we'll have to. Was it while you wait, big what up to and keep them for another 100, bro. Congrats. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And again, Nick, I want to shout out to you too, bro, because you are, you are obviously a guest on the show as well. So I want to say thank you for being a part of the history and leading up to the 100, man. So I appreciate you, bro. I do want to bring you back as well. A lot of people are going to start coming back, and once I have my proper setup and everything like that, people are going to come back, and it's going to be a different vibe altogether. So I can't wait for that, right? And I want to give a special shout out to every single artist, every single person that has allowed me in their circle. And I've made so many great friends, so many great connections with people, and they have also taught me a lot. And I probably wouldn't even know what I was doing. I probably, you know what? I probably would have been the closed-minded, judgmental person that probably would just say, "Oh, I don't give a shit about Aussie hip hop. It's terrible." That kind of closed-minded, judgmental people. Well, I probably would have been the same as that. So, I also want to give a shout out to myself. I just want to thank me, to and really just yeah. And I want to thank God as well because He was the one that I surrendered to, and then everything has been a complete success since then. So, yeah. And this is also another thing I wanted to bring up while hopefully Zeus is coming back. That I don't want you guys to give up as well. Don't worry about other people's progress. Don't worry about other people judging you on how you do your shit. This is your gift. This is your thing. Just go your own pace. I'm in this for the long run, right? I'm in this for the long run. I want 1,000. I want to go 1,000 episodes. Don't worry about the 200 or 300. I want to go to 1,000. I want to do the four-digit guests. I want that, right? And that is going to happen. And that is going to happen. Why? Because I'm going to make sure I put in the work for it to happen. So, yeah. But actually, while I wait for Zeus, does anyone want to join in? Also join in the live as well, if they ever would just want a quick chat at all. Anyone? 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 Again, I can just edit out all this anyway. So yeah. Um. So yeah. But I don't know if he's gonna come back. Let's see if Man, I don't know. I don't know what's happened. What if I could? That's all right. That's all good. That's all good. Mm, that's the thing. You know what? I'll probably just have to end it here. Um, man, I don't, because the thing is, I don't want to say I want to end it, but then he comes back and we continue. Um, but yeah, all right. What I'll do, I'll end this here, and I don't know if we're gonna do a part two. I don't know if we can do a part two. But yeah, I'll have to end it here. I'll probably edit all this anyway. But I want to say thank you so much to Zeus to being my 100 guest on my show, and thank you for everything for the conversations. I want to shout out to Eleanor as well for being such an amazing, beautiful human being. Jamie as well for also doing my Real Wisdom Wednesdays. And man, I also want to thank every single guest that has been on my show from episode 1, from episode 100. And I want to thank myself, and I want to, and yeah, so, so I'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much to everyone, and everyone, I hope everyone's safe, and yeah, I'm gonna have a week off of work, so I need a rest, right? So yeah, enjoy, guys. Thank you, and also I'll get in contact with Zeus, but I do want to, give him a shout out as well. So being on my things. So thank you so much. Good night, everybody.